Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About Tomorrow, where we discuss anything and everything. And I'm your host, Petrina.
And I'm your co-host, David.
Today we have Light. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for joining us.
We also have David.
And obviously, we also have Paris Evans in the house. Thank you for joining us.
Very well.
Yeah.
Okay, today's episode will be comparing remote work to on-site work.
Mm-hmm.
So remote work, that is, working from home, became more prevalent during the lockdown in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Now we found that people can work from home and still make the same amount of money as before.
Yeah.
Or even more money because you're working from home, you don't have to go anywhere. So no transportation cost.
Actually. So some people still prefer on-site work because of the human connection it brings in the workplace.
So Light, which one do you prefer? Remote work, on-site work?
Remote.
Why? Please tell us your reasons.
Though there are some certain jobs that would require you to be
there.
Place, yes.
Okay, like what?
Like a kind of job, you have to be at work. You don't have a choice. You can't work from home.
Okay.
Did you get it? But if there is a case whereby you can actually work from home, I would actually prefer working from home. So I have time to do other stuff. But in my kind of profession, I don't have a choice. I have to be at work.
Okay.
But remote work all day anyways.
David,
I think I know your
you
mind.
prefer on-site. Did he surprise you?
Did you-
Surprise you?
You say on-site. Okay, break that down.
Well, remote jobs don't really work for me.
It
Why
don't
is
work
that?
for you. Why isn't don't?
Well, I write, but still.
So if you were to write, how you want to go to the place like the
No,
place? How does that
I can't
work?
work in the comfort of my home.
Why?
Okay.
Okay, so you see your home as your relaxation environment,
Yes.
so you don't want to
I
bring
don't
work
want
into
anything that
that
relates to
place.
work.
That's actually a different perspective.
I've heard people say something along those lines. That being at home, their brain is just comfort.
Yeah.
Stay
So
coming
you
out
might
of
not
that
really
space.
meet deadlines. You just be
You get-
relaxing.
You get.
For me, I still prefer remote work.
You prefer remote work.
I prefer remote work for the same reason that everybody will prefer remote work.
What
You
is
don't
the-
have to, you're comfortable. I can be in my comfort zone and still work, especially if that work it comes to me like play. Do you get? So to me,
Okay.
I'm not really working. I'm doing something that I enjoy doing, so I
Okay.
can still do it from the comfort of my home. Plus, I don't have to pay to go anywhere. I don't have to. I'm introverted, so I don't have to go and see anybody.
Oh, okay.
So,
It will work
yeah.
a lot for people that are introverted. For someone like me, why I don't want one. I would prefer hybrid. The one that there are days that I'm home and there are days I like what I said the other time about human connections. I like it. I don't like being by myself. Doing remote work, the idea of
It's
it
not like
is
as
nice.
if you're living alone. If you can still have
For the most part, even if you're with your family, your wife, the chances that she's doing, if you have a wife, the chances that she's doing a remote job too is not so, unless she might be doing something that she has to leave home, and your children will definitely go to school. If you are staying with your parents, you're going to work, your siblings are
actually
probably
because when you work, you even separate yourself.
do you get, even if you're working from home, you have a workspace at home.
Yeah.
That is, you just tell everybody to, from this time to this time, don't disturb me. That kind of thing. For me, doing it 7 days out of 7, I can't.
7 days out of 24.
I cannot. I want to be able to talk to people. I want to relate. I want to know about. I want us to. I think for me, it will make for more productivity. If you ask me.
David, did you see?
Wait, sorry. Let us hear from Barrister.
Oh,
Do you which one do you prefer?
Well, I like leaving my house. I don't like being bottled up into one space.
Okay.
Work from there and live from there. I like that sojourn. I just leave my house, even if for 1 hour I come back. It gives me a sense of, even though I am introverted, but I'm also restless.
Okay.
That's why my case is complicated. I'm restless. I am never at my destination. The moment I begin to bottle up myself to achieve something, once I get to the middle of it, I'm tired. I'm thinking of which other thing will I start now.
Okay.
Yes, there are some points I landed in the hospital. And part of the recommendation the doctor gave was that they should change me somewhere. I can't be in one place. I can't be in one place for 1 hour. I don't like. I am restless. I want to be in places. Now, I don't agree with Light's reason for remote work. I don't agree with it because it's selfish. She said that you work remotely to give you time to do other things. What other things should you be doing at the time that you are supposed to be working and be paid for that time?
Oh.
The Nigerian, because it's only in Nigeria that you come to work, you come with your phone. And then you're calling your mommy, you're calling your dad, you're calling your friend, everybody's calling everybody. You don't do that in civilized country. When you come to work, you drop your phone somewhere.
So the idea of having time for other things, do you want to?
Yes,
she's not interested in the work. She wants to divide the time of that work with her own personal issues, and then she'll change the company.
Oh,
and that is wrong.
Okay. Do you have anything to say to that?
Yes,
before I ask my next question, and my question is directed to Barrister.
Okay.
Finish first.
So what I would like to say about that is, we have situations whereby probably you are a web writer or some other stuff like that, and you can easily work for two companies together and it's not going to affect each other.
Okay.
You can do you can do two things. You can do three.
That's a different thing entirely. That's a different thing.
But no, sir. If I'm at the office, I can't work with the company's internet. I will use the company's internet to work for another organization. It doesn't make sense. You get it? So you want to be careful of how you work and use the company's internet to work for other organizations while you're at work, and all of your attention and everything will be here and not the other place.
So more things like you can work for multiple people simultaneously if your job description can. And another thing is, to put it in perspective, I have a friend, he's a project manager. He works from home. But the thing is, when it's 7 a.m., he has very strict schedule. When it's 7 a.m., even when I go to see him and stay over at his place, we wake up, we do our prayers, and by say 8, 9-ish, he has breakfast, he take breakfast. Then after, nobody steps into his workspace. You just leave him. And he's there for a while, say like 2-3 hours, then he comes out. And just small talk, 30-40 minutes. Then after, he goes back again. Then say another stretch of 2-3 hours, then comes out again. He doesn't have to jump balls, he doesn't have to do this. I feel that's where time comes to play. You have the time we use on the road, especially if you stay in Lagos, is a lot.
No, remote work is actually the future. Do you understand? Yeah, but the Nigerian want to abuse it before it starts.
I agree with that.
That's where the future really.
I agree with that.
But this should come with a certain level of discipline. That you will know that you are in your house does not mean you are in your house.
The concept of remote work is still very foreign.
You understand? You are at work
for a lot of us.
So the truth is that in the very far future, you're not going to see school buildings any longer. It will be unnecessary. You're not going to see, except for a factory, but for companies that give out services, soft services, and more of intangibles.
To cut you, sir.
They don't actually need a structure where everybody was convened.
To cut you, sir, I'm sorry. When we say schools, one of the things we learn in school is not just academia.
Yeah,
relation, interaction, and all
that. Interaction will not be expunged just because schools are now online.
Okay.
The interactions you can have with your colleagues at school, you can still have with neighbors. So what I'm trying to say is, the way the world is, like the University of South Africa now, UNISA, they have a structure, but when you go to school, you don't see anybody because everything is online.
Yeah.
They don't say you shouldn't come.
So that in the Rwandan university,
they don't say you shouldn't come to school, but even when you come to that school, you will log on to your computer to access what is going on in the school.
So actually,
do you understand?
I can only direct this question to you.
That's the future.
Which one would you opt for as an employer? Would you
I would rather those whose activities are inevitable, physically driven, should come. Those who cannot come because their services they can give from anywhere can stay. I'm a very flexible employer.
Okay.
I'm not part of you guys in this country.
Even
No, I'm just telling you.
I
I'm
understand.
not part of you
I understand.
at all. If you look at my approach to work and everything, go and find out how many companies will do what I do. They will not do it. They will come with a lot of vindictiveness, a lot of that is how we're doing it before anybody cannot tell us what to do. I don't operate like that. You understand? That I'm so proud that I'm not part of you guys. Okay, but on the issue as to the remote work, that is the future truly. In so many countries, they're already there.
Yes.
In so many countries.
Yes.
And so
yes.
Nigeria, it will take some time. But Nigeria and Lagos actually need it more than any other place in the world.
I second that.
Because the traffic, the congestion, the human capital. You see, we must come to a point in this country. We must come to a point, especially in this Lagos, where we'll be able to completely sideline area boys. Do you understand?
That's a very strong conversation.
No, completely because when they want to exhibit their shenanigans, they use seemingly civil people to play. When you're in the bus, when you're in the market, when you're in that's when they find contact with you and do whatever it is they want to do. Society should be the one to go and correct everybody, give everybody education, so everybody can have a playing level field. Because you cannot solve their problem.
Bryce, I want to ask you this question. So you said this thing that you said earlier that we should be able to separate our home life and work life.
Yes.
What do you think about those people that when they are maybe in a Zoom meeting, they turn off their video and they are eating, but they are doing something? Is that really? Is it?
It depends on.
Well, I think even when you are working from the home, you should have a break time.
Yes.
Break time, but see, this working from home has led to a lot of problems. During the lockdown, there was a video I saw. I don't know if it's comedy or real. A top middle-level manager. He was to present a report to the board, and they have projected the whatever you call it, all of them. He was actually dressed. He had a boxer.
Oh,
he had a tie. He had a tie. It was real. Then, because of courtesy, because the director came in, and when they zoomed,
he had to stand up.
He stood up, and the whole thing showed that he was not dressed. So the director, it became like the director didn't take an offense. They were all laughing, and he was looking at everybody, wondering why they were laughing. Before he now looked at himself.
The director didn't take offense.
No, he did.
That's flexibility.
He did it. So no, he didn't take offense.
Why?
No, he understood that.
Because of the peculiarity of that situation.
Well, people were thinking more of their survival than work.
Yes.
There was much more of their survival. How are we going to pass through this period, scale through this period? The Nigerian Bar Association brought us food. They dropped mine at the gate there. Every lawyer all over Nigeria. NBA brought us food, heavy food, in Ghana, Moscow. And I distributed mine because we had so much, we cannot even deal with what we have already indoors. You understand? So people were trying to survive at that period. This is not a time. The thing threatened the world. And it wasn't the time where you start to make case heavy weather out of. So that's what the world is actually going to. And COVID came and actually drew us closer to it in a way.
Yes.
Because whether you like it or not,
pushed us
whether you like
to
it
that
or not,
direction.
whether you like it or not, it has been predicted. It has been predicted that at some point, certain part of the earth will be too cold to live in, and certain parts will be too hot to live in.
Okay.
So people will have to stay more indoors to prevent themselves, self-preservation.
So you are saying it is inevitable.
Of course.
Yes.
The world will get there. Where
So, David, I want to ask you something. Do you think that there's a difference in productivity? Like, do you think that remote workers are more productive, or people that work like on the physical?
Let's draw a line. There are jobs that you cannot do at home.
Of
There are
course.
jobs that you can do at home. If there's a job that, in your own preference, you prefer to do it at home, something you know that you can do anywhere. You get your own space, you get it done. As far as you reach your target, it's fine. So there's no difference in productivity.
There's no
If I
difference.
prefer to work in the office, I would go to the office to meet maximum productivity. If
That kind
I
of
feel
question
comfortable at
now,
home.
would that be correct to say it boils down to the person's
Perspective, your own.
the personality in
Person's-
question?
Oh,
And you know, as a company, it will be hard to deal with people on an individual basis. Or is that possible? Asking what works for you better. How best will you serve this company? Do you want it?
No, I think the company should structure what the company wants.
Okay.
Yeah, because sometimes the team or the management feels that when people are around, they can brainstorm. When people are physically
people
share
can
that-
brainstorm
I
over
share-
Zoom.
no, you can hold on. You can brainstorm through any means. You understand? But you cannot overrule the cosmic reality of matter. Matter is your presence. Matter is your physical presence.
Exactly.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now your physical presence
That's right,
has so many things to do relationally. Team building. You can do team building through phone too, or that. But you see, the way man was created to relate is for him to have interaction on a physical level.
Yes.
But the world now is so advanced to a point where it's not going to always be possible. Except you want people to be planted in their workplace and not go back to their homes. It's not always going to be possible for people to be physically present at the same time at every point in time. So you have telecommunication, you have other technological devices.
Yes.
Now, those technological devices must remain supplements. They cannot take over the natural workings
but you
of
already said
creation.
it's the future.
It's the future. We cannot run away from it now. But it's not going to be, it's the future to the extent that it supplements what you do physically. You understand?
Okay.
Of course, you know that even in those schools where they don't have to come to school, like UNISA, and some other schools, where everything is online, even if you go to school, you have to log on. There are times when the physical presence of the students are required. And the school will send a mail, the lecturer will send a mail, there are times when it's required. But it will not be like the past where you have to physically sign up for attendance for classes and all that.
I don't know. For me, personally speaking, I feel like you said, human beings were created to relate on a physical basis. If we take, for instance, now we haven't even gotten to the peak of relating with each other over the internet. Just cause there is smartphone with everybody now, there's a level of disconnect
There's a gap,
even
yeah.
within
Yeah,
the house.
serious disconnect.
There's a level of how would I put it now? People don't really know each other. When
They are trying to
growing up,
use emoji to fill in the gap, and they will not.
it can't convey the same emotions or the same quality of emotions, at least, that being in the same physical space will. The whole idea of growing up and I will have to relate it to this. Growing up, one of the major things you could do that will get you in trouble is going to play game outside. If you remember, David, you take the money they give you to buy food and everything, you go and play. Our parents, every PS2, God bless you. The assumption was that that's where you learn to smoke, that's where you learn to. So where I'm going is, you watch, daddy leaves home around 8 a.m., mommy leaves 9, they come back 6 and 8 respectively. You look for the perfect window period. That's where you go. You go there and your neighbor is coming, sees you, pull you by the ears, beat you very well, and tell you to go up. And your dad comes by, he greets you, hugs him, and that boy is not serious. I beat him. He will tell you why when you get to, and he won't even question it. That level of community, it happens because of physical
interaction.
If we now begin to isolate ourselves in a really,
We have begun to isolate
We
have begun already.
We're at the middle of it already.
imagine it now skyrocketing.
Well,
With this, that is the reservation I have personally.
Yeah.
For me, I like the smartphone idea. I actually like the in fact, the smartphone look like the invention was for me. I don't like plenty people.
Okay, for your person.
I don't like plenty. I don't like crowd. So I like to, and let me just be with my phone. Because sometimes human beings are stupid. People are foolish. Let me be with my phone to the extent at which I can be with it. Okay? So, to different people and their temperaments, the really sanguines will not agree with you because they are outgoing. They are sparkling. They are salesmen. They can handle any social event. Yes, they're always there. They're out there. To those people, so you see that even the internet is playing a role on people's temperament.
Yeah, the way people hold on to it. And for someone like two of you now, that you say you just to understand, you rather not have
physical interaction.
You say you're introverted too now. You rather not.
He's a melancholy.
Definition.
No, he's a melancholies are people who are into themselves.
Okay.
They are deep in thought. They're the best composer anywhere in the world. But if you offend them, one of their disadvantages, they know how to nurse the offense.
Sorry, I'm
packaging like a guinea.
It's coming like a prophet.
They are very unforgiving. So that's disadvantage. But the advantage is that they are first class brains. First class brains anywhere in the world. Okay.
Why they laugh?
So, so those who are introverted we usually gravitate more towards the internet device and the reclusive nuance that come with it. They just want to.
I think society should not allow you people actually. If you help,
that's it.
I won't allow a lot of things.
That's the variety. That's the variety. Yes,
anyway, we have come to the end of the conversation for today.
Yeah.
And I'd like to say a big thank you to you, for being on the show. Thank you, David. And thank you, Barrister, for joining us today. And thank you, our viewers, for watching. You know we love you. Comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Enterprise TV7, like our videos, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye for now.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.